Welcome back to Fast Market, everyone. Kevin Hinks and Kevin Green back for our third segment of the show. Now let's bring in the co-founder of Likefolio.com, Mr. Landon Swan, to the show. He's going to talk about our featured trade today, and that is Meta Platforms, coming off a big announcement. Landon, you know, you've got a lot of data on Meta Platforms and how well they're doing. This is, remember, Microsoft about a year ago coined a deal with Constellation Energy. Now it's Meta doing the same. Is this the large cap tech world just acknowledging that we're going to need a lot more energy than we thought or we have available, and they got to cut deals? They got to stay ahead of the curve here, Landon, and nuclear might be the best way to do it. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get too much into politics, but we've got to get more nuclear going. I mean, it's crazy, the technology that's available to us, and you know, it became a boogeyman, and it shouldn't be. And so I'm glad that we're finally moving in that direction. I mean, some of the estimates out there, like one is that by 2030, data centers are going to be 7.5% of all U.S. electricity, which is the equivalent of 40 million homes. I mean, that's just data centers. And this is only going to continue to grow. Now, I know that, you know, Goldman Sachs said that they think that's going to peak around 2026, and then it'll slow down because of efficiencies. But yeah, technology is going to get more and more efficient. It's going to use electricity more efficiently, but our reliance on technology is only going to continue to grow. And as it can do more things, we're going to build more and more tech. And so, yeah, the tech that's there is going to be more efficient, but I think that pie grows much faster than the efficiency grows. And I think that energy consumption is just going to go through the roof. And so we've got to do this. I mean, we've got Meta, Amazon, Google, and obviously Microsoft. They've all joined a pledge to 3x nuclear by 2050. And 3x by 2050 seems like a no-brainer. You got to go more than that, but at least it's something. And you can see that it's not just, it's not just about feel-good stuff. It's not just about environmental stuff. We need this. There's a bottleneck, and it's power. And so as that realization continues to hit, and the benefits of signing these deals continue to hit for these companies, Microsoft first, now Meta, others are going to continue, and I think it's going to be great for the world, great for the U.S., great for these companies, and so obviously very bullish on this trend overall, but it's coming from, again, this technology. I mean, if you look at what Meta has built, they have all kinds of opportunities coming up. I mean, on their last call, they talked about 5 different AI opportunities, better advertising, which is going to lead to more businesses, advertising with them. They envision a world where businesses can say, this is what we need, basically just in human language. And then the AI goes and builds campaigns for them, including visuals, video, media, optimizes it, just takes it from there, right? There's going to be better content recommendations as AI starts to learn what gets more clicks, more views, more saves, more shares. And actually another one that's kind of interesting is as businesses adopt messaging, and we expect all kinds of businesses to start using AI for messaging. WhatsApp, Messenger, Instagram DMs are going to be used more heavily by businesses. Obviously, that's a big opportunity for Meta. Their AI assistants already got 1 billion monthly active users. They're not really monetizing that yet, but they will. As people get more and more reliant on it, it's going to be able to either push people towards different products or advertising, or they can start charging people as it gets more and more useful. And then, of course, the AI devices. I think this is a bit of a sleeper. We're talking about like glasses here, things like that. I think it's a sleeper because the first, couple iterations that we've seen over the last 5 or 6 years were goofy, and nobody really wanted to wear them, and it's like, that's not great. But as that camera gets smaller and smaller, and you can't tell the difference between normal glasses and those glasses, and people can see things in their glasses that you can't, I really think that one's going to be kind of a sleeper hit that people don't see coming, and Meta's on top of it. I would say that they failed early on it, but they're the leader, and they're going to be the leader when it becomes a thing. And so between all of those, plus their Llama program, which is an open source AI that's competing with OpenAI, it's very attractive to a lot of businesses because The businesses own their own data. They install the software on their servers, and they can, actually don't have to worry about API kits and sharing the data with OpenAI. They own it. They've got a lot of opportunity there, and you can see the platform, growing tremendously, tripling over like the last year and a half or so. They've got a lot of good things in the works. Meta does, and it all requires a ton of power, and they're not the only ones. And so this deal makes sense. There's going to be a lot more coming soon, I think.
Landon, what do you think is one of the biggest risks for Meta over the next 6 to 12 months? Obviously, you talked about a lot of the positives, the product offerings, managing a power, artificial intelligence, but what's some of the risk around this name that kind of, I wouldn't say keeps you up at night, but maybe a little bit of a concern for you?
Yeah, I'd say the main thing is that they don't invest enough into technology. I don't see them doing that, but if they did that, that's how they lose. If they, again, this is not the path that they're on, but if for some reason management decided that they've got so many users and they're going to make sure they squeeze every drop out of the advertising, and they don't really worry too much about technology, then I think that's the big risk for them, that someone's going to beat them to it. That seems to be the opposite of their game plan right now. And so I think really probably one of the biggest risks that they have, given that they're very tech forward, is lack of power, and they've just mitigated that. So, I don't see a ton of risk right now going forward because they've got that user base. And, what we're going to see over the next 6 to 24 months is software is going to become sort of dime a dozen. Everyone's going to be able to make incredible software. The advancements in AI development are incredible. It's unbelievable how quickly you can develop things. So what they have as far as software as a software lead is going to become less and less relevant, and it's going to be more about distribution. That's why companies like Walmart are going to win. They've got the distribution. Well, on the tech side, companies like Meta are going to win because they have the distribution. Yeah, you can build a better Instagram, you can build a better Facebook, but it doesn't matter if nobody's using it, and they've got the lead. So, even if someone does build something that's better, they can, just improve theirs and distribute it to all of their billions of users, and the competition's instantly squashed. So right now, the risks that I see, they're not falling into those traps, and so I'm actually pretty bullish on the way they're handling this.
I just worry, Landon, and I'm interested to know your thoughts. Remember, they just raised CapEx on AI spending, and now here comes another big ticket item, energy. Now, we knew they were going to need energy all along, and they actually may be doing the least expensive form of energy going forward. But at some point, is this CapEx going to become restrictive to them? This is a lot of dough they pay out, not only for AI and the servers, but now the energy component, Landon. At some point, are they going to be able to monetize this big of a price tag?
I think they will, but I think honestly, if they don't do this, it's a one-way path to failure. They have to compete on technology. They have to compete with AI because everybody else is. It's an arms race. They've got a huge lead, and there's going to be people coming for them. So I think they have to spend like this. So I'm actually encouraged. I understand the threat. I understand the potential problems, but it seems like the absolute best business decision. You've got to be aggressive, and you've got to keep that lead that they've got. Again, I think I've talked about Meta a year and a half, 2 years ago, and I was kind of neutral on them because I wasn't sure if they were going to be complacent with the lead that they had or if they were going to continue to invest in technology. All of those fears have clearly been answered. And so, yes, it's a big number, but when you're this big, you have the ability to make aggressive bets. And I can't tell you how bullish I am on just AI in general. And so the fact that they're betting big on that with this power play and all of the technology improvements that they're going forward, I know they're going to be one of the winners.
Yeah, I really like the fact that they're using AI to streamline the advertising, right? Because remember, that's their revenue. If they can make that more efficient and better, and a better experience for the users, now you're talking about things that actually bring in money or potentially more money or draw in more advertisers. I think there's a lot of competition for advertising. You know, where people are putting is more and more people move away from linear and towards streaming. Landon Swan, we appreciate you coming on as always and bringing the knowledge about Meta platforms. This is a big day for them and a big topic, I think. Thanks for coming on, Landon.